Hey, we are live. It is time for CyberCast After Dark. Welcome everyone to the show. It is Wednesday, August the 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We are so glad to have you. I'm seeing people rolling in on the chat already, so that is a good sign. I'm also watching because last week, there was a little snafu with the connections, but I think I got everything squared away today. So we're gonna have some fun because my main man, Wes Bryant, he is here today hanging out with us. I cannot wait to get to this because it's a little reunion. We got ourselves a little class reunion. We're getting the band back together today. For those of you out there that know him, you love him because to know him is to love him. Let's bring him in, everyone. It is Wes Bryan. Wes, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me. Good to see everybody.
Man, it is great to see you. It's great to be like sharing screen time with you again. It's been a hot
Yes,
minute for us.
yes, absolutely. Bringing me back.
Bringing you back, bringing you back. I know,
That's
right? It's
right. How's
super,
everything
super
going?
crazy. It's going really well. I want to kind of like just really quickly for those of the people that are like, hey, and if you're a noob, welcome to the channel. We love to give very warm welcomes to newcomers and say, hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you have a good time because CyberCast, whether it's IRL or where it's here after dark, it's all about fun. It's all about cybersecurity. It's all about IT and tech, like pop culture, you name it. We just like to have fun here and bring the fun back into IT. But Wes, maybe there's a couple of people out there, they don't know who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself so that we can get familiarized.
Absolutely. My name's Wes Bryan, and I've been a technical instructor now for about 15 years, and I've been teaching a variety of different modalities, from traditional instructor-led training to remote and hybrid. I was a mentored learning instructor for a while, and then for a good period of time, I worked at IT Pro TV doing online subscription training. I myself was a career changer, so that's one of the things that I kind of focus on when I do support and help people learn. Typically, it is the career changers like I myself was. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I've been doing technical training. I specialize in CompTIA training as well as some Microsoft training. In fact, I'm doing some endpoint administration as we speak. So, all fun stuff. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's funny. I love how you introduce yourself. Wes is totally like downplaying himself, by the way. He's being very humble right now. Wes, so when Wes worked at New Horizons, he at one point was the number one trainer in the New Horizons network. You notice he didn't bring that part out. So I'll just go ahead and brag on my boy, let people know the caliber of skill and technique that we are working with today. So I'm super stoked to have you here today. I hope everybody that hasn't heard of you is glad to now hear of you. They can start following you. I know you got a lot of stuff, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
let's jump into chat. Let's check in with everybody, kind of see what's going on here today. Let's see who's in the chat. I think I keep seeing people pop in about Brian Bauer. Yeah, there he is, Brian
Yes,
Bauer.
in the
Right there he
house.
is. No more ponytail, Wes. He's missing the ponytail.
No, no, no. I got in a fight with a weed whacker. I'll let you know who won.
We got this from guy like that. That's my IT pro. Woo, what's up? They're glad to see you in the house, Brian. A lot of people were really happy to see this episode happen. I am definitely one of them. But
Oh,
let's see here. We got
absolutely.
Wayne's Real World in the house. So anybody
Yeah.
that's out there, if you're watching us tonight, basically we're just gonna have a conversation. Wes and I are just gonna chew the fat, have a good time, talk about what's going on. Anything that wants to come up, come up. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, you know what to do. You throw them in the chat. Make sure you at my name so I can see that. And if I see it, I will make sure to try to jump on those things. If I miss it, which is very possible, especially since I got Wes here today, I'm going to be interacting with him a lot. Wayne's Real World, he's in the chat as well. He's our official and unofficial moderator. He'll try to like spam me and get my get my attention so that I can get to this stuff here. So like I do see Whitehead Sheepdog has a question. Let me see if I can grab that. There it is right there. It says, Daniel Lowry, I started using the phrase, if you will, from Wes Bryan. Thank you for that. Dude has been watching you. That is for sure.
If you
That
will.
is how you know someone's watched Wes Bryan. They know his
That's right.
little idiosyncrasies.
Oh,
So
yeah. The
really cool
Westies.
stuff. All right. So Wes, you followed my IRL show quite a bit, right? You watched
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I typically tune in every week for a little bit in the morning, say hi to everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. So you know about the morning pour.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Are you aware we do an evening pour?
I was not. I was
Yes,
not.
sir. Oh, yes, sir. So if you have a drink of choice with you and you like to pour, you can more than welcome do a guest pour. We're going to get to the evening pour where I bring out the After Dark martini glass. And of course, nothing goes with a martini glass better than an ice cold, frosty Monster energy drink. Zero sugar, of course, as it were. Tonight's energy drink will be brought to you by Monster, not officially, but with the Ultra Blue. The Ultra Blue. I don't know if I can. There you go. Ultra Blue. Daniel only drinks Ultra Blue for his evening pours.
Did they guess the color here in chat?
Did they guess it? They do like to get a good guess going on. But let's see here. Let's see if we can get a pour. A little ASMR for your evening, kids. I don't know if I can. I'll try to hold it. Oh, we got to get the crack. I almost did it in the wrong spot. You ready? Oop. It actually shot onto my. That's the first time I've had like an actual like spray back onto my keyboard. Good thing I keep things just around. You know, Wes, we were talking before we got started, and I kind of mentioned a little bit about the pour. And I said, if you want to go grab something, you can. And Wes was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Wes, why is that? Why is it not a good idea? Let me get a pour, and then you tell after we pour, you tell everybody why that's not a great idea. You ready, everyone? Let's hit it. That's heaven. I can smell it. Okay, I think we've tempted fate enough. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to call this the Aqua Velva. All right, we ready? Here we go. Every time. It's so good when it hits your lips. It's tasty and frosty and it tastes delicious. It makes me feel good. All right. So, Wes, please, if you would, now that that's kind of over with, tell everybody why it's probably not a good idea for Wes Bryan to get liquids near.
Yeah, mine come with lids, especially when it comes around computers. So Dan and I were sitting next to each other, and we were doing our typical thing, prepping for shows. And I tipped an entire glass, a mug, 32-ounce, right around of ice cold water on a MacBook Pro, and this thing made a sound I have never heard a computer make. I mean, it started whining. Ended up turning it upside down, putting it in the car during a Florida summer, dried it out. But man, you don't want me doing any pour near any electronics.
Well, that just sounds crazy, sir. But it is absolutely true. I witnessed this entire event, by the way. So I think the best part about that story that you left out, because you probably just don't remember it was such a traumatic event, was I'm sitting at my desk. Wes almost invariably would come in and have like schmutz on his shirt or whatever from going to lunch. You know how it is, right? You get stuff on you and it just happens. So he comes in, he sits his perfectly tall glass of water next to his laptop down. He comes, he taps me on the shoulder. I turn toward him and he goes, "Look at me," and throws his arms wide open to show me how he has no schmutz on his shirt, nails the cup onto the MacBook Pro. That was what I thought made that story the best. Was that
look, Ma, no hands.
Yeah, buddy, man. So it was just kind of funny that like poor West, it sucked, but at least you didn't have to pay for that.
I'm going to tell you one thing though. Those MacBook Pros, they're built pretty solid. They survived an encounter with Wes the Anvil Breaker.
They did, and the boy can do it. Anybody knows I know can do it. Wes can do it. You'd be like, how'd he do that? All he has is a fork. I'm like, I know.
Yes.
Never seen nothing like it.
That's right.
All right, Wes. Let's get into some. I definitely want to bring up an interesting question that came up to me today. Somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn. It's a young man by the name of Christopher Young. And unfortunately, he was not successful on his Net Plus. It got the best of him today, And, he was asking me for some tips. What can we do? And I said, who's like a monster at that kind of stuff is my main man, Wes. And as luck would have it, as Providence would shine upon you, Chris, he's coming on after dark tonight. I said, so stop by, ask your questions there. And I see right here, Mr. Chris Young in the house. And we're going to start off right there with, hi, Mr. Bryan. Thank you for being here. I failed Network Plus, struggled on the PBQs. Any advice on where to go to get some practice on them? Got a new voucher and hungry to conquer this cert. Thank you much. Wes, what do you say, man?
Sure, absolutely. One of the things you can do, I don't know what your platform is that you're testing on. You could start with practice exams and looking at the results of those practice exams. One of the best things you can do is, now that you've seen the actual exam, you have probably the best gauge of the knowledge you have, the information that you have. I want you to remember that, because you can take that score report, that result, and you can turn around and you can use it to find out what your weak areas are. And that's what I tell everybody. First of all, don't worry about not passing it. And I know that's easier said than done, especially when you study as much as you do. And as hard as you study to take these exams. But what I would do is I would take that score report that you got, and you'll look and you'll see all of the domains that you didn't do so well in. They're sometimes not specific, but you can take that, and I would take every one of the domains and I would use that and go back and study each one of those topics. You don't get a better, like practice exams, they don't actually show you the actual questions, right? They teach you the concepts, and if you utilize them properly, then what you're doing is trying to learn the concepts that the practice exams are teaching. And then you get a score report, right? Well, what you should do is take that score report from your practice exam and you look at the areas that you were weakest in. I don't even care what the questions are, right? Look at the domains and the objectives that you were weakest in and go back and study those more. Well, when you've got that, what is it? It's the N10-008 or 009 right now. Forgive me, I don't have my exam objectives in front of me, but I believe it's 009. Anyways, when you take that score report, and one of the things that you're going to see is that you have a series of objectives, like say in domain 1, right, where you have maybe 10 or 11 that you've missed in domain 1 versus maybe 4 that you've missed in domain 2, maybe versus 8, in domain and so on. Well, that area, that domain that you've missed the most in, kind of lets you know that that's the area that you should focus in on. So that's one of the things that I tell people, start with your plan of attack. And while that information is fresh in your head, don't let it, don't let it, make you not go back for the exam again, right? Go back for that exam again. Don't let it get the best of you, and do it while it's fresh, because you've put all of the time, the resource, the energy into studying for this exam. And that's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you, so you know where it is that you are currently in your studies. Because see, as a mentored learning instructor, that's one of the things that I had to do, is take somebody's exam and kind of give them, or practice exam, excuse me, the score reports, and kind of give them a mode of attack, a methodology to get their certification, under their belt and pass it. And that's one of the things that I start with, is just looking at where the domains that you're weakest in and attacking those. And if you have to, go to the objectives that, in this case, CompTIA have, download the objectives and take them like a checklist and ask yourself for each one of these, how do I feel like I would do, given a scenario? Could I identify the technology? Could I explain the technology? And one of the last things that I'll say too is make sure that you pay attention to what the objective is asking you to do, so you know the proper amount of study, right? If it says explain this, then that means you're not going to be required to configure it, right? You're going to be required to basically have a conversation about it. Flashcard material, right? Identifying the technology, compare and contrast is different than install and configure. So also kind of remember the level of that you should focus on each one of these. When it comes to the PBQs can be very, very um, uh, they can be tough, absolutely tough. And I'm going to give you something where this is something that I did myself, and I still remember the certification exam back when I was a student. I was taking the 2008 Server R2 Active Directory exam, and it was just so huge. There were so many things in Active Directory, and there was a lot of it that was these performance-based questions. And like the first 10 questions, I feel like I didn't even know. And that right there can be really, really, deflating, right? And to make you think, why am I even doing this? So that's another thing is that if you get into PBQs, one of the things I do, and this is what I recommend, is I mark all PBQs at the end because it's about time management. I will not do a PBQ at the beginning of the test. I don't even look at it. I don't even read it. I mark it for review.
Chris, I told you, dude. I told you Wes would have you some solid answers. So hopefully that is super helpful for you.
Mhm.
And now you can go and you can slay that dragon, brother. We look forward to you jumping back in maybe next week, week after, whenever you get this sucker underneath your belt and hanging from there going, look, I got it. And we can celebrate with you. That's going to be an awesome, awesome thing. Wes, great answer. Thank you, bro.
Mhm.
Let's see here. We got a question from White Hat Sheepdog. White Hat Sheepdog asking, where's Cloud going next? I don't know. It got in the car and just took off. It was weird. Wes seems like a cloud guy. Wes, I do know that you do dabble. You would like to enjoy the cloud from time to time. What say you? What do you think cloud's heading to?
Oh man, I don't know with AI integration. AI, it's here to stay,
Yeah,
and it's only
I'm
getting bigger.
all I'm seeing is basically in my mind, it's going to be like automation with AI and then AI integration into your cloud environments to be able to do all the things that we normally do, but it's
Mhm.
going to kind of take over for you. And we just get to automate that through agents and things of that nature. Are you seeing that at all? I mean, I haven't been playing around with cloud too much lately just because I've had so many other things on my plate right now, but you got to stay on top of these things. Have you gotten into anything new or specific AI stuff that you're seeing in your cloud environments?
Not really. They're not really pushing it yet. Like Microsoft, like for instance, I'm doing some endpoint administration content right now, and they're not really pushing Copilot, but I believe very soon you're going to start seeing that as a requirement. And that's just based on the specific content that I'm focused on right now. Because you know how it is when you're focused on content, you put one hat on and you get hyper focused for a while on something. My thought is that even from an Azure standpoint, is that you're going to start to see more requirement on AI solutions and integration with things like Copilot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. We're seeing Microsoft wants to push that stuff as hard as they possibly can. They loved it. I mean, honestly, they've been pushing it before that, but we just kind of were kicking back on it because of the way it was integrating and the way it
Mhm.
was like gathering information. People didn't like that very much. Microsoft has done a couple of shady things within the recent past that everybody made you go, "Hey, hold on there. Hold on. Yeah, I don't need you." Like when it was cracking password protected zip files in emails, if it had like easily guessed passwords, it would run through a password cracker. And if it could crack it, it would open your zip file, read the contents to make sure it wasn't malware. It's like,
Oh,
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, no, no, that's not what we do.
relinquish
It's
my
not how.
privacy for safety.
Yeah, that's not how this works. Okay. So then when they came out with the Copilot and everything, the AI, and it was just gathering all that information, or was it Copilot? I'm sorry, it wasn't Copilot, it was something else. I forget the name of it now, but it's escaping me. I love that. We get our heads filled with all this knowledge, and then half the time you can't like access it. Super, super
Yes,
fun.
yes.
All right, let's jump into the chat here and see what else is going on. Lots of great conversation going on. Somebody was asking about Sophia. Could we get her on the show? I haven't talked to Sophia in a while, She is busy. I know she got another job and she's working as like a social media manager somewhere. But we definitely I would love to have her in one day just to kind of do what we're doing right now. Have some fun, reminisce. We had so many good times at IT Pro TV. I mean, I remember Wes and we had our first like where we were in the studio together working on something, and we did hazardous material data sheet.
Oh my God, OSHA.
Oh man.
Oh, that MSDS.
The MSDS. And
Oh.
I wish y'all could have been there. We were cracking up so hard that we had to like stop and take cuts because it was I being the fool because I'm an idiot, right? That's just what I do. And Wes is like struggling because I'm over here talking about people getting dissolved in acid.
What's the appropriate handling procedure for battery acid?
Yeah. Well, first we pick up Billy's arm. We take that with Billy to the hospital so that maybe by God's grace they can reattach because he showed up drunkard and Cooter Brown to work and he dipped his hand.
Exhaustive shows too.
What are you doing, dude?
God, were they exhaustive? That was back when the shows could go an hour.
It was, yeah, easily an hour, and then God forbid the air conditioner kill us on us because, hello, we're in Florida,
yes,
and it's summertime from like I don't know April till March, right? So it's hot like most of the time.
That's right, and lightning, everything, all the other times. So it's interesting. Didn't you get struck by lightning recently?
I did. Golly.
Oh man, I think you just keep that mojo away from me. Yeah, we had a
So you got struck by lightning.
Yeah, fried a 802.11ax modem. And then the guy came out and fixed it. He says, "Well, I'm hoping a restart will do it." And he starts to he restarts it. He checks the signal. Signal's got the decibel, the gain that it's supposed to have. He pushes the reset button and it shuts off and never comes back on. I looked at him and I said, "You killed it."
I knew that. You did that.
I didn't do it.
That's right. It was not Wes Bryan.
I did not break it this time.
There was no water anywhere near that.
Water's capped.
That's right. You can't blame this guy right here, right? That is funny, dude. That is too funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's check in with chat. Let's see what people are talking about here. White Hat Sheepdog says, I have to ask, what's Wes's favorite cyber acronym? Good question. Wes, do you have a favorite? Have you ever thought about that?
I've never thought about that. No, I'll have to get, oh man.
It's got to be MSDS.
Because, I like acronyms too. Now I've got like,
Dude, you are the acronym. Let me tell you, listen, people, you have never met anybody in your life. So we are the yin and yang of acronyms that you're looking at in this two box right here. Wes is the acronym king. He knows every acronym. And not only that, but like weird esoteric things about the acronyms. I can't remember half the time if I acronymed my name. It's like, I'll sit there and go, what does EDR stand for? I do not remember. It's end something, response something. I'm so bad with acronyms. I do not know why. That is just one little piece of my brain that goes, yeah, you know how that would be cool if you knew what those acronyms were? Oh, we're not doing that. So just get over it. So if you ever need to know an acronym, you hit Wes up on LinkedIn or jump in his Discord or something. And definitely check that out.
So, all right, I'll go with one. And it's part of the Wi-Fi or WPA2 standard. It replaced TKIP, which was the Temporal Key Integrity Protocol. It's CCMP, just because it's a ridiculously long acronym that nobody really needs to know, right? Counter mode with cipher block chaining message authentication code protocol.
Okay. Yes.
Rolls right off the tongue, right?
Oh man.
I remember asking you, what does that mean? You're like, I don't know. I just make it work.
Pop quiz, Wes. CMAC, what was it? CSMACD or whatever it is?
Oh, CMSA, the carrier sense multiple access collision detection. That's CD, and then collision avoidance is
collision
CA.
Avoidance, right? Yeah. See, I know a little bit. I can remember some of it.
Man,
it's like bits and pieces. I have like memento memory.
I don't know. I think as we get older, we got those two cells every once in a while. They connect. Oh, that's what that was, you know. And then
All
other
right, we
times-
get yeah. All right, we got a question coming in
All
from my
right.
man, Casually Joseph. What's up, Cashmere? Good to see you here. On the subject of cloud, going back to the cloud, everybody's called Cloud Happy tonight. That's cool. We like the cloud. Cloud is fun. But he's asking, what are on the subject of cloud, any good forensic lab platforms? Wes, have you come across any things when it comes to forensics on cloud?
No, see, I haven't really been in the cybersecurity space in that. So my answer to that is not really. I'm going to have to leave that to your viewers and your knowledge, honestly, on that.
Dude, well, don't feel bad because I must be sleeping because I'm not familiar with any either.
Are
I'm
we
looking, I
talking
see one
cloud
for
hosted?
Google. So there is some boot camps. I'm just doing a quick Google search and looking at cloud forensics and GCP. A lot of stuff with Google, probably because I'm using Google, but yeah, there's some Google stuff that looks like it's out there, but I haven't. So I don't do a ton of forensic stuff myself, like very little, very little. I do enjoy it though. Honestly, if anything could ever be my, you know, if I ever broke up with Red Team offensive security love, I probably would land on the forensic side of things. I just don't have. I just haven't been down that road, especially with it being even more niche down into cloud specific stuff. So,
Mhm.
if anybody out there has got Kashmir, a good answer to that question, throw that in the chat because I'd be interested in it as well. Let me just look and see if anybody's kind of like answered that question. I don't see anything. Of course, it does take a few seconds. It looks like Roswell UK says, I think Casually Joseph asked the question so he can say, well, I know some. There it is. Hey, listen,
If you know it,
Kashmir, no slouch, man. The boy knows his stuff. He is awesome. White Hat Sheepdog does say DFIR Diva. I know that DFIRD or D for Diva, she's got a lot of great resources. So if there's some cloud stuff in there, let me go grab D for Diva, DFIR Diva, and I'll just grab her website URL, copy that, throw that into chat because that is good stuff. So definitely go play around with some of that stuff. It's a lot of good times. It's very you can even find kind of like CTF stuff that is around forensic challenges. A lot of fun. You get to learn a lot about new stuff, do some file carving, do some like restoring of partition tables and things of that nature. Find some fun flags, as it were. Looks like Brian Bauer saying try Hack Me has cloud labs now and A Cloud Guru. Let's see here. Yeah, so good question. I think that's honestly, to me, that's why we do this kind of show. Listen, I know some stuff. Wes knows some stuff. You all in the chat, you guys all know some stuff. Our powers combined, we can learn some things from each other, and that's why I love doing the show. And I think that's the fun of it. So, great question. Hopefully, it sparks a lot of good information and people out there that might have not been thinking about some DFIR stuff, some DFIR. Now they've got a resource. They go out there and have a good time. All right, let's see here. What else is going on? Looks like we're at the halfway point, my friend. I'm going to drink out of the cup. I'm going to get myself a little.
I'm going to drink with my bib and plastic wrap around them.
Wes's studio looks like Gallagher's getting ready to go on.
Shh. Told you that was just supposed to be between me, you, and Facebook.
All right, let's jump back in this chat here. Let me see if I can see some good chat going on because you're a lively bunch tonight. Oh, it's easier for me to look at the YouTube chat than it is the restream chat because then I can see my name. White Hat Sheepdog. Obviously, he was throwing out the D for Diva. Oh, Tech Ricky. Tech Ricky has a question that's kind of tech related. This is kind of funny. Let me see if I can find that over here. Tech Ricky, the techiest of all the Rickies.
Yes, Tech Ricky. What up?
Yo, Tech. See, I wish I could easily look through the restream chat. It is just not as convenient as YouTube because it's really difficult to sift through each one of these things. So I'll just read it, I guess, because he asked, Tucker asked, what do you think about Battlefield 6 requiring secure boot to be enabled before you can install the game?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
Wow. Huh. So
So
should the gaming industry follow the PC industry? I mean, I don't know, because really gamers, what I'm thinking about here real quick, let me just, there's two industries that push this market, right? All of computing. That's going to be business or enterprise and gamers, right? Those are the two demographics that spend the money. Wow. So they're going to lock down the bootloaders, which means that if they lock down the bootloaders, there's no modding, none of that's going to be done. That's a very interesting thing. I mean, I think Linux users faced this for a while too in the early days of Secure Boot coming out because of getting trusted signatures into the TPMs.
yeah, it's a real you know, it's got its pros and cons, just like everything, right? To be able to have TPMs is obviously a very nice thing. Having secure boot, you're adding security. But as we've always said, right? I think that you've said it, I've said it, just about any technical or security trainer worth his salt has made this analogy. Right. Wes is doing it. Sliding scale.
Mm-hmm.
If you add ease of use, you are going to lose out on security. And if you add security, now whether or not the gaming industry is trying to utilize this to keep people from cheating and doing all those game mods and things of that nature that Wes was talking about. Honestly, anybody that knows me knows I'm not a modern gamer in any sense of the man. And I'm not saying those games aren't fun. And if someone's got a system, I'm over. And they're like, hey, let's play Battlefield 6. I'll be like, cool, I'm down. Let's play. But I don't have those things. I tend to retro game. That's my love. That's where my heart lies, is in those retro games. But it's really interesting to see them starting to push like what you should be doing with your hardware so that you might not be able to mess with their stuff. That might be a bridge too far in my book.
We already face it. I mean, we're already facing that now. Do you root? Are you up on XDA developers versus are you one like me with Verizon who's got a locked Knox? And there's no getting around it. And if there is, by the way, contact me,
Yeah.
around the bootloader. So we already see that when we look at vendor phones, right? And when I mean vendor phones, I don't mean if I go to Google and I pay the full price for a Pixel. I'm saying if I go to Verizon and get one, there's going to be two completely different things. The one that I get from Google most likely is going to have an unlocked bootloader. The one I get from Verizon is not. Right. So we already kind of see that in our phones that we spend $1,500 on and more, and they lock us in. And yeah, you might go back to that whole, okay, well, it keeps you secure. Make sure that you're downloading from trusted sources. But I know that some people want root. And if you don't, I mean, it's my device. I want access to root. So I can definitely see where people that haven't seen that before are, well, wait a second here. I should have access to the console that I paid for. So I could see that argument for sure. And to me, it just sounds like they're locking it down. So you can't bypass, right? But they can put everything behind a tinfoil hat moment here. Sorry, but they could put everything behind a paywall, right? And then you pay for
Oh yeah.
functionality.
Yeah. Well, they've been winning that battle for a long, long time, and I don't think we're going to make any real headway on that anymore until you start getting indie games and more people like just with the developer's heart, the gamer's heart that wants to put games out there, make a buck a little bit here and there, and just have people enjoy games and mod and do what you want, because that's kind of the fun part of it. Because of big gaming is a big industry, right? They make
Yeah.
a lot of money. I mean, games are making more than movies.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, they listen, as soon as the people that kind of twist their mustache and smoke big cigars get a hold of things. Wes and I have seen that action up close and personal, and it's not fun. And they tend to come in there and just pour a bunch of garbage all over your fun. They like to yuck our yum. What are you gonna do, right?
The fun police. Yeah.
We got a wild Kathy Chambers in the house, my
I
man.
see that. Miss Chambers in the house. What's up, Kathy?
She's doing great. She asks you, what is your favorite thing about being a trainer? And would you recommend others take that route as a career? Great question.
Seeing others succeed. I would say that that's been the biggest thing, seeing other people succeed. Like, people, that sorry if I don't recognize you by your username in here, but there's like so many people, for instance, just in this chat room that I recognize, and to hear from other people that what we've done, what I've been able to be a part of, has helped them and benefited them, and given them the opportunities that that I've been given, being a teacher, being in technology. I think that's one of the best things. It's one of the greatest things, is being able to support people, being able to meet them wherever they're at in their life, as far as whether it's somebody that's a career changer, which is really what I focus in on. I really like supporting career changers, because that's what I was. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, being able to look back and see, hey, that you brought value to somebody's life, right? You brought a little bit of success. You brought some understanding, maybe helped them in advance in their career or in their studies. And I think at the end
I'm
of the
not
day,
crying. You're crying. Stop it.
nah, man, it's just onions. It's onions,
Though,
man.
I think, because Wes and I, we've known each other a long time. And what's really interesting is both of our stories are very similar. We come from tough upbringings, didn't have much, if anything, at certain times, and I love that you bring up, like, Wes was the guy, like, you worked at a Dairy Queen,
Hmm. Yep.
and he said, I can do better. And not that there's anything wrong. And I always like to make that caveat. There is an honorable job to go work at Dairy Queen and pay your bills. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to challenge yourself and you want more and you want to push yourself, IT is a great career. So mess. You are a mess sometimes. Wes makes this jump, and because of it, he finds a passion, and then he sees other people. And I'm the same way. Like, that's why we do it the way we do it. How many times were we in the studio, Wes, just going like, we can make this better. We
Yep.
can do this. And because, man, I was watching this training or that training, and it sucked.
Hmm.
Just wasn't good. To that point, we got Brian Bauer in the house, a longtime OG fan of
Most
us.
definitely.
He says he still can't find an IT platform as good as IT Pro TV. He's tried them all. Well, bless your heart, brother, and we thank you. That says something about what we tried to do there and what we did do there. Wes pouring his. I mean, I've watched you agonize over doing it as best as you can.
Yeah.
I love that about you.
I tell you, I seen Brian. I seen you out there. I seen that statement you made. Yeah, when I got the privilege of meeting Brian and going up to where he lived with Don, we got to see Brian at a place where he was working at the time, working behind the scenes in IT. So that was, that's going back to why do I, what is it about instruction that I like? As much of an antisocial person as I can really be and crawl up in a shell sometimes, I really do like, you know, um, connecting with the students that you train, the people that you're providing that service to, because at the end of the day, they're the ones there that you're there for. And I think that connection really is what is kept me, continuing down this path. So yeah, I do. I think it is a rewarding path, and I would recommend somebody, take this path as a career. Just understand that it, like any other career, it comes with its challenges.
Absolutely, it does have challenges, and as we've seen through our career, as well intentioned as some people may be as trainers, they're not great at it,
Hmm.
and maybe they're better suited being a keyboard jockey, right? Like doing the job, or that kind of thing, or supporting the communities of IT and cyber in other ways. Um, because I've met some really like good people. They just weren't great trainers, but they had a heart to help. And I can't get onto them for that. I can't get down on them for that. I love to see that passion that they want to help. But, it is what it is. Not everybody's cut out for that job. So you got to know yourself as well. And if you want to, you can get better at it. But you got to put your hand to the plow. You got a lot of work to do to get good at it. We've seen it. People come and they're like, you know what? I'm just going to keep trying. I'm just going to keep making content. I'm just going to keep working at it until it is as best as I can. If you're that kind of person that will agonize over it, then I guarantee you're going to be a great trainer one day. So go for it. All right. Another question here. Is machine learning, aka AI prompt injection, being presented in new security certs? Wes,
That's
now I know you stay on
interesting.
top of security certs. I know I've seen it in one cert at least, or two. I'm sorry, two certs at least. But let me let you answer first, and then you can steal my thunder.
The one that I can that I know that I did see it in is in the what used to be called Cast Plus, the Security X. There is focus in on that portion of the CompTIA exams that I know, and I know that they're also talking about manipulation and hallucinations and things like feedback loops. So there has been some of that that I've seen. But one specific exam that I believe that I remember seeing that in some of the objectives was the Security Plus, or not Security Plus, excuse me, Security X. Again, the former CAS Plus certification.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I know that AI prompt injections and like model poisoning and that kind of stuff is in Pentest Plus.
Hmm.
Specifically, it is definitely in there. There's a lot of like AI specific attacks and concepts, that kind of thing, in
Hmm.
CEH V13 as well. So I've definitely seen it in those two certifications. I'm actually working on, yeah, as many of you may know, I posted on LinkedIn yesterday that I miss training. I miss it a lot. You know, hanging out with. I hear Wes and he's talking about making episodes. He's building content and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I miss doing that. I miss
Hmm.
that a lot. So many of you may know, I'm moving back to the trainer space. So I've started creating a Pentest Plus course. That's going to be the first thing. It was the last thing I was working on before the whole place that shall not be named thing happened.
Hmm.
So I had most of the notes and everything already. I just have to make, I just have to make a little changes, modifications, so that I'm not infringing on their IP.
Sure.
And so that'll be the first thing that I have coming out. I think, while is it going to make you a pen tester? No, but it's a great certification for going, hey, this is going to give you the broad strokes of what you need to know. And of course, I'm not going to let you down. I'm not going to give you like, here's what cross-site scripting, here's 3 bullet points. Let's camp on this slide for 10 minutes. That's not your boy, right?
Yeah.
That's not Wes. That ain't me. That's not how we roll. So I'm going to show you how to do cross-site scripting. I'm going to show you how it works differently in DOM-based cross-site scripting versus, stored or persistent cross-site scripting versus reflected cross-site scripting. And we're going to do demos of those things. It's going to be fun, and we're going to have a
Hmm.
good time. So I look forward to getting that completed out and put on some different platforms. I'm already starting to talk to different people about where I could house that material.
Hmm.
So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, it is definitely out there. And those are two places where you could go find it if you are looking. So I'll definitely keep an eye on other certs. I need to do some research here lately. I got to get back into the cert game and see what certs are out there, what they're offering, what their objectives are, and things of that nature. I got to get plugged back in. So give me a little bit of time, and I'll be back on top of my game on that.
Hmm.
So let's see here. Whitehead Sheepdog, I don't want to dodge your question. But that's something I think that's probably not best for the online stuff, is just asking about how we feel about our clips being used. But yeah, we'll keep that for behind closed doors. Let's see here. Anything else here going on? Roswell UK says that asks, anyone see that counter hack on North Korea? Someone hacked one of their ATPs and pulled 9.8 gigs.
Wow.
So I'm not saying that they should have done that, but that's none of my business.
The camera lies.
Hey, what do they say? Live by the sword.
Die by the sword.
I didn't see it. I've been so busy. I'm sorry about that. That was White Hat Sheepdog. Dang it. Hide. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. I'm losing my mind.
Up, down, down, left, right, left, right.
Yeah,
hidden
right.
select
Do the
stars.
Konami code.
You got it. You got it.
All right, let's see here. There was one from Wayne. Alicia Parkinson. Here we go. Great question. Did we take notes as we learned what you right? So she says, let me just read it because it's easier. I'm
Yeah,
trying
sure,
to
sure.
interpolate. Did you take notes as you learned as you learned? Okay, I didn't read that badly. It was just, that's okay. These things happen. If so, so basically, when we were learning, Wes, did we take notes? Is that something that we did? And if so, how did we compile and organize those notes? Do we reference and update them? What say ye?
So yes, that's my course. That's how my course is built. My course is built by me learning the technologies, unless it's stuff that I already know. So one of the things that, and pretty sure I've heard Dan say it a few times as well too. I always want to make the training that I want. So in that, I want to make sure that I'm giving you with the same stuff that I understand. So basically, what I do is maybe not you don't want to see all my scratch notes and everything. Yes, I'm very analog. I've got so many handwritten notes. Holy crap! I mean, this is so bad. Right? Yeah. So you don't want any of that, because if I used any of that for my shows, you wouldn't be able to see what was going on. But yes, my notes essentially become your notes, minus the very bad penmanship. Yeah, and that's how that's really how I build my course. Right? I want the notes that would benefit me to benefit you. That's probably one of the, when it comes to notes, that's how I do it. First of all, my courses are, how do I show this? Then we'll
That's a
wrap
great point.
everything around what I show. But with certifications, there are specifics that you need. So unfortunately, it's some of the stuff that isn't the fun stuff, right?
Don't you hate that?
I would love to just show you just the lab, but unfortunately, I got these series of specifications I need you to know. And
They're real
pause the
sticklers
video.
about
We won't
this,
need to talk
Wes.
about them. Yeah, pause the video. Okay, you're back, type stuff. Well, so yeah, I would say two things. The first thing is, how do I show this? And then the notes are when I need to learn what I need to do to show this.
See, I think this is what we kind of cultivated back in the IT Pro TV days, and this is why we train how we train, is we start with, there's going to be a demo.
Hmm.
Like, I assume every episode I do has something demo-y. And then when I look at an objective list or something and I go, where's the demo in this? Where's that? Like, okay, well, if I don't have anything to actually show, how can I make it more visual and engaging?
Hmm.
And Wes and I both come from, like, we both learned how to take notes at the same time together to build our courses, to build our our episodes and things that, like, we have so many notes that it's crazy. And those notes, like Wes said, I would be lost without my notes.
Hmm.
Now, we don't read scripts or anything like that as we're doing. We're just kind of off the dome as we talk and do our thing. We just kind of use them as a bulleted list. Here's the next thing you got to go talk about. Here's the next thing. I tend to put acronyms in there because I tend to forget them. So it's like, hey, Daniel, don't forget. Seam means this. And I go, oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yes.
But other than that, that's just how we kind of work with it. And then it says, hey, it's demo time.
Hmm.
And then we get hands on keyboard, we start have some fun and show you how things are going. So absolutely, we make notes. I make notes every single day because it's a great way to learn. I'm actually doing a notes and documents a course for anti-siphon coming up next Monday. I think it's a private class, so you guys can't sign up for that one, but it is a fundamental skill that without, you're going to find yourself on the struggle bus because you're not going to remember everything. And if you want to remember more, taking notes is a great way to do it.
Yeah, and when I take notes, I try to tell people, if you're taking notes to learn, don't copy and paste. Copy and paste is not your friend, because the person that has the most text in a document is not necessarily the person that's going to learn the text that's in the document. So
Yeah.
I just tell you, write them down, type them out. And the other part of that question was, how do you write them down? I showed you the analog chicken scratch that I have over here, but I use Markdown. I use the same flow that I would use that we cultivated on the team at IT Pro. So I use Markdown, and I use it because the Markdown editor that I have also exports out to HTML, which HTML can be viewed in any web browser. It can be also exported to PDF. I can turn around and copy it into a Word document. So, one of the things that I have to do with my notes is be very versatile with how I output them, but I also have to be what I call like locally sufficient with presentations, right? And that can be challenging. Is like I need everything that I need, and I need it right here. So for me, it's good to save in Markdown because Markdown for me is so versatile in the fact that you can use it a lot of different locations. In fact, all of the lessons that are in the Discord server that I have are all Markdown format. I rely on it so much. So my notes pretty much, if it's not me writing with a pencil, it's going to be and it's a pencil, not a pen. I hate pens. Um,
Do you really? I didn't know that.
I
I did know
cannot
you're a
stand
bit of a
pens.
pencil aficionado, aren't you?
Yeah, it's just because
That's
I write
right.
so bad and I need to erase. Pens don't erase, so
I love the reasoning. It's like, it's not because pencils are super awesome, it's because, it's me, and,
yeah, it's me. It's the operator.
I need erasing capabilities.
Yeah, that's what
Alright,
it
let's
is.
see here. We got about 10 minutes left to go. I do wanna get to playing our game show here, but
Alright.
that shouldn't take too much longer. Let's see if we can take one really good last question before we get into the game show, and then we'll wrap up with finding out what you're up to, where we can follow you, and that kind of stuff. So,
Sure.
let's see here. I got lots of questions coming, lots of great questions. I think people are really enjoying our conversation today. I know I sure am.
Heck
And
yeah.
hopefully, we're helping a lot of you out there. I saw Roswell asking about how much knowledge you have to actually teach a course. I saw another person saying, I've got a bit of IT experience, but I'm having trouble with, kind of getting into IT. That seems to be a common thing right now. So they may be thinking about pivoting into being a trainer. What level of expertise do you have with that stuff? I think if you want to get paid to do that, you obviously have to be fairly adept at
Mhm.
what's going on. And not only that, it's not just one thing. And Wes, I can't wait to get your take on this, and then we'll kind of move on. But it's two things you need to be a good trainer. And Wes, you back me up on this. You need that technical acumen. You don't have to be the Gandalf the Grey with the keyboard, right? You don't have to be the biggest, coolest tech wizard to ever walk the earth. You don't have to have that level of expertise. Of course, the more you know, the better. You do have to have some level of deep knowledge. But then the other side of that coin is going to be presentation. We saw so many people come in and try out and try to be what we did. And then I was just telling somebody this today, walked out looking like you just gut shot at them, because when that camera came on, it was like, oh my goodness. So if you want to do it, you absolutely can. Start working on those visual communication skills, verbal communication skills, and being able to work to the camera. That is a big part of it, because if you're training people, whether it's live and in color, virtual like this, we're doing a live stream, or as a recorded asset, you got to be engaging. Otherwise, people aren't going to like your content. So, Wes, you give us the final thoughts on that, and we'll move on.
I really do think that you've said a lot of what is accurate there. You definitely have to know the content. You have to have that technical, not necessarily background, but you have to have that knowledge for sure. You have to be able to connect with your students. That's what's really important. So I would add to the having those presentation skills. I would say being comfortable with the platform that you're presenting from, because every platform presents its own challenges. Every platform, can have some of the, different cadences. It's different if you're talking to a camera versus talking to somebody face to face. So I would go as far as to say you have to be comfortable, communicating at the level of the audience that you're speaking with. So I would say know the audience that you're speaking with is another one of those things that can go a long way too. And just being very comfortable with the platform, because when you get, when the tally lights come on, can you have a good cadence and can you make it feel comfortable? One of the things that we heard a lot when we were, when we were back in the IT Pro days is that people felt like they knew me without ever meeting me. And I know, Dan, they thought the same thing and still say the same thing about the content that you do, is that, when you're teaching it, it's kind of, you're having a conversation with your friend. You're having a conversation with somebody you should be helping, right? Not just, okay, we're here today. Nobody wants to hear the robot, right? So very robotic. So I think that comes with practice. If you're okay with a little bit of being uncomfortable, I think you'll find.
Yep, you'll do quite well. So get yourself a little practice, start working on something, find out where you are the strongest in, and maybe that could be a good way to break into being a trainer. So I hope you do well. We need good trainers. There's plenty out there to be done with. We need good trainers. So jump in, man, and grab a bucket and start bailing. Right. So we need the help. All right. So that said, man, we've got 5 minutes left, and we're gonna have a little fun. We'll probably go over time just a little bit, but it's worth it because of the fun. Wes, all the comments, we've got to do this again
I would
because
love to. You tell me when.
yeah, because 1 hour was not enough
No,
time.
no,
Not enough
not at
time.
all.
So we are gonna have to reschedule again. So let's jump in. We're gonna have little fun today, as we like to do. I got to start sharing my screen here. Not that one. We want to share this one. And I'm just making sure I'm on all the right things because I'm horribly. There we go. Grab that and say this thing right here and allow. Wes, we're gonna play Who Wants to Be a Tech Millionaire? That's the wrong thing, too. How do I get us on the screen? This is the thing, right? Yeah, there we go. All right, this is how it's gonna work, Wes. You're gonna get these
Okay.
questions, and I'm going to read the question. I'm gonna read the answers, and
Okay.
then you get to try to answer the question. We're gonna have a little fun. You win no cash, you win no prizes, but you get to have a great time just answering stupid, silly questions. And hopefully, we all have fun. And if you get stuck, you can ask the audience, right? I think I
Okay.
can still run a poll. Oh, I probably can't because it's on the wrong screen. But we'll just let the chat go crazy. But so you can,
Okay.
if you get stuck, you
I
get
love it.
one chance. You can ask for a poll to ask the audience. You can also get another lifeline, ask a specific person in the audience. And that's all I got because I can't remember what the other one was. So, with that said, are you ready, sir?
Okay.
All right. The question is, in the movie Sneakers. And by the way, chat, do not answer in the chat. He can see your chat. What are we doing? Right? I already saw like answers in the chat. It's like, no, it's a
No,
house
I'm not
preface.
looking. I'll be good. I won't look.
He's a good boy. Wes is a good
Yeah,
boy.
no,
He won't.
I won't look. It's gonna, if I fall, I'll make sure it's flat on my face.
All right. All right. I trust you. I trust you. So, in the movie
All right.
Sneakers, the team's motto is Cetek Astronomy. What is the hidden meaning of this phrase? Is it A, too many secrets? Is it B, secrets and technology? Is it C, security through obscurity? Or is it D, Lance the Boyle on my secret spot?
All right, I'd like to say real quick, if you're ever in the exam experience and one of the questions makes you laugh like that, right away, it's not the right answer. Um,
I
so I
like how
don't think
this
it's
became
D.
like exam tips.
All right, so I'm looking at the amount of words here, and I'm not sure, if it's supposed to be, what do they call those, anagrams?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say A, just based on the amount of letters.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, but yes, I do have
Okay.
another one, but
The
yes.
answer is A, too many secrets. Very good job, Wes. I'm proud of you, sir.
Okay, well, I was thinking of steganography, or what was the little thing that the crypto that's in the paper. I was thinking, wait a second, is this security through obscurity? Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay!
That
I
was a little
almost
loopy
overthought
one.
it.
That's right. But good job. You stuck with your gut and you saw it through and you were right. Congratulations. You won 10 bazillion points.
All
All right,
right,
moving on.
awesome.
All right, question number 2. What does the acronym SQL stand for? A language used for managing and manipulating relational databases. Is it A, sequential data logic? B, standard query language? C, super quick login? Or D, structured query language?
I am going to go with D on that one. Structured query language.
Structured query language. Are you sure about that? Is this your final answer?
Yeah.
I know what. Listen, it was an acronym question. I have no doubt Wes knows this one, right? And he is absolutely correct. It is the structured query language. Oh my goodness, that is a fun one. All right, so I knew I wasn't going to smoke you on that one. That's for sure. Well, let's move on. Question 3. What type of attack involves an attacker placing a listening device or software between a user and a server to intercept and potentially alter communications? Is it A, a phishing attack? Is it B, a man-in-the-middle attack? Is it C, the I know when you poop attack? Or is it D, a DDoS attack?
Well, man, C, I know when you poop. Oh, man. It could be like, hi, I really like the curtains you have in your room.
Yeah, they look great from the street.
I don't think it's that type of attack if it is.
Okay.
So DDoS. All right, so I'm going to kind of work back through it. DDoS, distributed denial of service, right? A coordinated attack to basically shut down a service. Not that one. So it's not C or D. A phishing attack is an email-based attack to try to gain sensitive, information, typically a username or password, or drop a payload. Close to I know when you poop, different kind of droppage. I think it's B, man in the middle.
Final answer, sir?
Man in the middle attack.
It's a good thing you didn't look at the chat because chat is begging you to pick C.
I know.
But you're absolutely right. It is the man in the middle attack. Oh my goodness, the old MITM gets you every time.
That's right.
And I know when you poop attack though, that's some serious stuff. You got to be on the lookout.
It really is. Taco Bell
sleep
about
on
to
it.
blow some stuff up.
All right, let's keep moving on. See, we're having fun tonight, kids. This is how we go. All right, question number 4. Which of the following is a key difference between TCP and UDP? Is it A, TCP is faster and less reliable? Is it B, TCP is connectionless while UDP is connection-oriented? Is it C, TCP guarantees the delivery of packets in the correct order? Or is it D, UDP is wanted in 6 states for public intoxication and the urinating on an FHP cruiser?
Well, that's what happens when you have the urination datagram protocol.
I love that you got
different
that,
type
man.
of protocol. That is yeah. All right. So
You know me too well.
Absolutely. So you say TCP is faster and less reliable. Let's see. TCP is connectionless. Guaranteed delivery of packets in the correct order. Wow. It's like serving dinner. You better get it right. So I'm going to say C. I know what transmission control protocol does because it's a connection-oriented service that provides sequencing, segmentation, reliable delivery of packets end to end.
Is that your final answer, good sir?
Unless we can ignore the public intoxication.
Okay, yeah. I think we can. And there you go. It is C. I know I can't smoke, Wes. I actually thought I would get you with the first question, but I still got one more question to go. So there's still time.
No.
Wes might get a perfect score. He's staring down the barrel of a perfect game here, kids. So let's see what happens with question number 5. Which famous British mathematician and computer scientist who played a pivotal role in cracking the Enigma code is considered the father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence? Is it A, Bill Gates? Is it B, Alan Turing? C, Charles Babbage? Or D, some rando dude that's on there named Daniel Lowry?
Well, let's see. I don't think it's Mr. Never gonna need more than 64K of RAM. So we'll take A off of there.
That's good logicking right there, Wes.
Didn't have enough memory. I actually know exactly who this is because I watched a movie on this, and I know it's Alan Turing. I don't know who Babbage is, so.
I think Charles Babbage. A, is that your final answer?
No, B is my final answer.
Final answer.
Nice try. Like you really want to kick it.
Yes, congratulations, Wesley. You threw a perfect game. You batted 1,000 tonight. Excellent. If I'm not mistaken, Charles Babbage is the father created the first usable computer or something like that. I think that was that kind of his claim to fame. He created the first computer of some kind. Alan Turing was definitely one of the first to create a computer, but I think Charles
Yeah,
Babbage may
brilliant
have created
mind.
the first one. Yeah.
What
But
was the
excellent
machine
work, man.
that they created? What was the machine that they created? Do
Oh,
you
good
remember it?
question. What was the name of that machine? It was in the
Come
big.
on, Chad, help us out.
Yeah, what was the
Alan
name of
Turing.
the
What was the
machine
Enigma that
that cracked the Enigma?
cracked the Enigma code? I know it was Bletchley Park. That's where they were at. It
Yes,
was
Bletchley
Bletchley.
Park. Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
Bletchley Park.
Dude, it's been a while since I stinking even looked at this stuff.
Yeah.
What's chat saying? Anybody got it? The Colossus to Alan Curran. This comes from the
The
pain.
Colossus, the
Says
machine. There we go. The pain. I see you out there. You
that
got
broke the
it.
Enigma machine. The
The
pain. I love that
pain
name.
brings the Colossus. Thank you.
You did indeed. Thank you so much, man. I hope everybody had a good time tonight. I know like we just didn't have enough time to get to everybody's question. We didn't, there's so many good questions going on tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. Wes, we want to take the last few moments to let everybody know how can they reach out to you? How can they follow you? What are you up to? Give some people like whet their appetites and let them know how they can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. I encourage you all if you've taken my training or you need some support, reach out to me on my Discord server. You can get a hold of me after if you want. There's a lot of stuff up on the Discord server to help people out too, and I'm adding to it daily. We've got news feeds up there, learner resources. I think I'm up to about 130 lessons, notes, practice questions that are available, and you'll see that a lot of times I have an in the studios daily live stream where, yes, as I'm recording content, I will fire the studio lights up and we'll be live on the Discord server. Up on my YouTube channel, I have a whole bunch of new videos that are coming out this week, too, that I'm really happy with, integrating Intune with Microsoft Defender and onboarding devices in Defender. We got a lot of other videos coming out, up to about 114 videos, and about 26 videos of those are in my current Microsoft 365 endpoint administrator videos, but there's a lot more to come. I'm gonna be doing a Windows 11 mastery playlist, if you will, set of videos coming up. So yeah, you can reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn too. So if you want any of that contact information, just reach out to me via my email as well too. And yeah, we can connect.
Awesome stuff, Wes. Yeah, I have your YouTube channel and a link in the description below, as well as my Discord servers there, so you can reach out there. I didn't have your Discord. I should have grabbed your link, but I believe you probably have it in your
Yes.
YouTube channel, right? So
Yeah.
we
Yep.
get you there, kids. We'll get you there, kids. So go check out Wes and what he's doing on YouTube. If you need some good training, he's going to have some great stuff in there for you. And that's all gratis stuff. That's just Wes being a great guy. You can watch him do his live stuff. Really cool stuff. Wes, man, like I said, we are going to have to get together one more time because
Yes.
obviously this was a good conversation for everybody. I think everybody enjoyed it. Look forward to doing it again with you, brother. That said, we have come to the end of another CyberCast After Dark. Have a great evening, everyone. And until next time, keep hacking.
Take care, everybody.